give some love to the chat. What's going on, guys?
What's up, guys?
So, let me go
You gonna start
ahead
from the
and
top or?
I'm gonna yeah, and guys, we can't respond to everyone, but I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of read through
So,
it. So it looks like George liked it. Torres says I did not like any scenes between Diana and Steve. Only scenes with Pedro Pascal and Kristen Wiig, which had more. Wish we had more scenes with her. So kind of something like what you said, but a little bit opposite. He didn't like
yeah,
anything with Steve. So that's interesting. Sean,
interesting.
what's going on, Sean? Cheetah's so Torres talks about Cheetah's score was the best comic villain score. You know what's funny? That's I only noticed it when she started kicking that dude on the street, but I didn't notice it throughout the movie. Maybe I was just too focused on what's going on, so maybe I need a third watch of the movie. Um, Jay says, first viewing, I disliked Wonder Woman in 1984. Second viewing, I appreciated it, liked it a lot more. Wish there was more Cheetah. Not a perfect film, but I'll give it a pass. 7 out of 10. Invisible Jet scene was cool too. 7 out of
Yeah,
10. So that's, I don't know what that equates to out of 5, but yeah, it sounds like you really enjoyed it. And again, you disliked it, and there was a total 180 for you. You disliked it, and now it's a great movie. 7 out of
yeah,
10 I think is a really good score for a movie, and to get to that 8, 9, and 10 is really hard for me if I was to be
yeah,
critical. So I'm glad you
yeah.
liked it. um, so George liked it, 7 out of 10 too. um, um, so yeah, it sounds like a lot of people liked it. Like,
Let's
again, I
see.
found a lot of enjoyment out of it. um,
There's Au Pair Francis Aguirre. Sorry. He said he dislikes the visual effects so sloppy and cheesy, and it wasn't realistic enough, and off court, and of course, not enough action.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I think the visual effects, yeah, it was pretty sloppy. I mean, I think the whole fight scene with Cheetah, I think it shouldn't have been taking like place at night.
Oh, they
I
did
feel
that
like it's
because of the effects, dude. That's why they did it.
I
Believe
feel like
that.
it just made it worse. It just made it worse.
No,
Like if
the reason why it's dark, and I only know this because I play around with Adobe Premiere, whatever the visual effects. I play around with that sometimes, and I try to imitate effects for movies. And the reason they did that, especially with the cheetah sequence, is because they're hiding the fact that the visual effects, and it looked great at night to me, but if they had changed it with more lighting, I think you would see a little bit more flaws in the effects. And
I
again, I'm
guess,
no
but
VFX artist, but I'm certain that's why it was
like
there.
it was already
At the,
bad to begin with. That is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that.
So
Well,
they
no,
just
see, I liked it. I liked how it looked at night, but I think with Cheetah, they did it at night because they were trying to hide any flaws that might be there. You know what I'm saying? So it'll take you out of it a little bit more if you had seen her in the daylight, maybe based on the technology that we have right now. Hopefully it gets better, but I'm thinking that's why they put it at night, for that specific reason. But I think in terms of visual effects, I think it just goes with the physics of the movie. I think the effects were actually pretty good, but I think
yeah,
the 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 physics of the movie made it feel like they were wonky.
yeah,
The way that her rope defies physics, and like she'll be able to grab two people at the same time with one rope, and it just kind of makes
yeah.
it look weird. And so yeah,
It's
um,
like it's like yeah,
let's go.
yeah. I
Let's
mean,
try to get to everybody's comments
and
here.
then there's let's see, the loose joints. A wow, an hour between fights is really bad, especially a comic book movie.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah, I
people are
mean,
looking for that action, especially on Chris. I mean, again, it's up to the director to tell that story. But if there wasn't action scenes, then you got to keep that paced up. I feel like it did slow
yeah,
down a little bit.
yeah.
Um, let's see
Let's
what,
see.
what else. Who are we looking at?
Jo-
Go ahead.
Johan
Oh yeah.
Johandri. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Uh, Tienis. Yeah, the dialogue was so cringy. You couldn't come up with a simple joke. you
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I mean,
know, I did like Kristen Wiig in here. I mean, there's points where I felt like I was watching Saturday Night Live, but like
yeah.
I felt like she did pretty
I
good
think she did
for.
great. I think she
Yeah,
did
I thought
great.
she did really good.
I think her story could have been told a little better. I mean, I know you liked it, and I liked it too. I just thought she could have been fleshed out a little bit more, in
Yeah,
terms of like she's really a smart individual, and she says it. But I think in movies, it's best to show and not say sometimes. And I wish we could have seen little sequences of her from college or something and growing up, just like they did with Pedro Pascal, where at least we got to see the sequence of him as a kid and why he became the way he was. But it's in a short sequence. I get it, but I'd rather have seen it for Kristen Wiig than just to be like, hey, I am an anthropologist, geologist, and all this stuff. So, but yeah, I totally get that. Let's go on to the Loose Joint says, I heard there was no 80s music. Is that true? I don't remember if there was.
Nope, there's no 80s music. That's what me and Bernie were actually looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, that's strange, huh?
Yeah, that's strange. Like if you're gonna say in the 80s, come on, give us
give us the music. That's true.
Yeah,
I thought the trailer was great.
Come on, George Michaels, come on, man. Especially like with the whole like when Steve Trevor was like trying different outfits, like that would have been the perfect moment.
Perfect, yeah. Totally.
I don't know. A missed opportunity, but
Giannis MP96 says, love the film, guys. Not any other movie in the DCU has conveyed as much emotion in this film. And that's fair. I'm glad you loved it. Emotion, you got a lot of, the scene with Gal and Steve Trevor, though I didn't like a couple lines of dialogue in there, I thought it was a great, like, man, that must have been so hard for Diana. And this kind of led to what was supposed to be the trench sequence, the no man's land scene where she starts running and then all of a sudden she starts taking off flying. And that's, to some people that scene hit hard. It didn't, the flying part didn't hit as hard as the emotional scene for me. And you're right. It definitely, very, very good emotion conveyed, especially from Gal. So props to Gal.
Oh, I did forget to mention, the armor, the Wonder Woman armor.
Oh yeah, that was dope.
Armor.
Yeah.
Dude. No, but I feel like we didn't see enough of it. Like I feel like,
oh yeah.
Like I wish there was more of that. I just felt like it was so hyped up, like I just wish we had more of it because it's so beautiful and it looks so badass.
Yeah.
And then the fact that we only got like a few minutes of it was,
I thought it served its purpose, but yeah, that armor is sick. I hope we get more of it, but probably not. But maybe Wonder Woman gives it back to Asteria. We get a Wonder Woman team up, Linda Carter in the future. That'd be cool. Cool. Let's jump down. Sorry guys if we can't read everybody's comment. Jay has a question for us though. He says, do you blame Jeff Johns at all, and should he be attached to Wonder Woman 3? My answer first. Jeff Johns helped her co-write it, and but ultimately it's the director. So I think while I don't like Jeff Johns as a person, I love a lot of his comics, but I don't blame him necessarily, but it's ultimately the director's choice. And apparently, blanking on the director, Patty Jenkins has full control of Wonder Woman, according to reports. So ultimately, it lies on her. But should he be attached to Wonder Woman 3? I hope not. Get Greg Rucka on there. Get other people who worked on Wonder Woman. Let's get something different. I want something different.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, he was in the first movie too, so like. Yeah. So I mean that movie was really good. So it wasn't. I mean.
Oh, this is an interesting. A Taurus. Yeah. Sorry, I'm already going on to the next one. Theory on Diana flying. She flies by using air current in BVS. She was on a plane and then instantly arrived into battle. So she had to fly, which is why she jumped down. So that's cool. That's cool. I like that. I like it.
You're right.
So if
we didn't see it, but it's insinuated. Yeah.
Yeah. Good job on that one, man. I didn't even think about that. So good. So yeah. What's going on, Mario?
The one thing I do like is, I think I mentioned this before we got on the live stream, was that the DC fans have been really honest about this movie. I think from what I've seen, like no one's really being biased towards it. Like no one's like, they're being really honest, and I love that.
Yeah. Okay, so here's a good segue into our next little segment here. So the Loose Joint says, kind of scared about the Rogue Squadron movie now. Now that brings me into that brings me that's Paulo. What's up, Paulo?
Yeah, it's Paulo.
What's going on, Paulo? So we'll check out any comments before we end the stream, guys. But we only got a little bit more time, so let's get to sorry, I'm clicking the wrong. Okay,
Shinikage up in here. What's up?
Oh, what's up, Shin? So let's go, before we get into the current DCEU ranking, we're going to skip down one and go into Wonder Woman 3 and the future of the DCEU.